Good afternoon, everyone. Hope the audio is good. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So, yeah. So today is our resource person, Mr. Bala. So the topic is building an innovation product that fit for market. So before we kick on, let me introduce Mr. Bala. He's a very renowned person. Still, let me formally introduce and welcome him. SP Balamurugan, a co-founder and CEO. He drives strategic priorities of GUI. Before starting GUI in 2014, Bala was a technologist at PayPal. He led various technical teams in PayPal, CSC, and Covency system during his 12 plus years of working career in technical industry. Bala holds a master degree in computer science from Anna University CEG campus. Bala has focused on simplicity and inspiring creativity through solving problems with thoughtful product design. He is a pure technical person. Bala focuses on the value of being nimble, able to shift to make an idea or product better, and that this ability made for better business. Appreciating his contribution of inducing industry knowledge into academic. The Register Anna University has appointed Balamurugan as a member of syllabus subcommittee for forming the curricula and syllabi for Anna University degree programs. It's a huge privilege. This helps GUBI to play a role in introducing the latest technologies as a part of academic curriculum and thereby increasing the employability of students. So it's a wonderful, program. He's a fitting personality to address this, important session. Let's welcome Bala. And Bala, the floor is for you. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chandramohan. Thanks for the warm introduction. Thank you, Pawan, for the invite. And first of all, congrats to you guys for starting up this session of Voice of the Startup. So congrats to the entire team of KCG for making this happen. And the topic was quite interesting today, building a market fit product or innovation product, right? So when this topic is being given, I used to think how I perceived this concept during my college days or during my early days of startup. Okay, so that is how this thing, the entire session was actually framed. That is how the entire session was structured. Okay, so I'll keep things very simple and very open and very related to what we are going to discuss. If you have any questions or if you have any things to be discussed, you can put it in the chat. Okay, so Mr. Chandramohan or Mr. Pawan, so how does this work? Does people get to interact in between, or should they? Usually the Q&A session happens at the end.
Bala, generally it's better that we have the Q&A at the end. The candidates can pose the questions in the chat box, or we'll open up the floor at the end for the questions also.
Okay, fine. So I just wanted to be very clear on that so that I could actually proceed forward.
Sure.
Okay, let me share my screen. Okay, you will see my screen, right?
Yes, Bala.
Okay, so guys, the next 20 minutes relate to the problem statement or relate to the topic which the team has offered. Okay, so building a product for market fit. Okay, so how you build a solution or how you build a product that has been accepted by the market, okay, or which has been consumed by the market. Okay, so that is the right term to put for this. So I assume that the people who are being part of this meeting are people who are interested in startups or people who are actually thinking of building a solution on their own or thinking of building a product on their own, right? Am I right? So is that the audience expectation? Can you guys just type yes or no in the chat box? That will actually keep the session live. Just put it in the chat. I mean, okay. Hope you get chance to chat, right? So you can just put yes or maybe or no. I'm okay with it. Okay, so you can be a mere observer as well, but need not think about products. But there might be few on those lines as well, right? I'll just wait for a minute to understand the audience pulse. So are you someone who's trying to build up startup or trying to build a product? Juno, yes. Pavan, yes. Atharva, Kailash, Shashidharan, Gokul. That's it. So the Harish. Okay. Okay, so seems like pretty much everyone are focused toward the particular goal, right? Of building a product or building a solution. So if that is the thought process in which you came for the session, I'll give you a real example of how things worked. Okay, how things worked in my life or how things worked in Gooby. So that would give you a sense of how to map things or how things are actually pursued by the market. Okay, so with that we'll just go for the example which I'm going to talk about, which is obviously Gooby. So I'm not sure how many people have, I hope since you came here you would have known this. So Gooby is the vernacular learning platform for the next billion learners. So this is the goal in which we started this in 2000. Close to this idea was formed in 2011. Okay, so we should be the vernacular learning platform for the next billion users, a billion learners, whatever you can coin it. So we should be if someone wants to learn technology, okay, and if they wanted to learn in their language of their choice, so Gooby should be the one-stop solution. So this was the entire idea or the thought process that had. And to simplify it, to put it down, learning without any friction, okay, or learn in a very, very easy way, or learn in a fun way, or learn in a without any barriers. So that was the pure intention, pure idea with which Gooby was formed in 2011. Okay, we just had the idea. So this is current state of Gooby. Okay, so from 2011 to current state of Gooby. So now it has become an integrated tech platform for learning technology to get hired through recruitment. So a complete solution where we provide technology courses in vernacular languages. Okay, and obviously 250 plus hiring partners are hiring through Gooby and trusted by 6,000 plus learners, 6 lakh plus learners. Okay, and the company has been co-incubated by IIT Madras and IIM Ahmedabad. Okay, so this is the current state. So from 2000, the idea state to the current state. Okay, so what takes what takes you, or what moves an idea to the market or to a product? So what is the first step? May I ask the viewers, like, what is the first step that you think will actually make your consumer idea to either a product or a solution? So what is the step? Can you please type in the chat? What do you think is the first step to move from idea state to product state? Understanding customer need. From Juno, what else? Creating a prototype, market competition, supply and demand. Okay, demand. Okay, so these are some of the thoughts shared by people. Okay, I'll tell you what we did. Okay, so from the idea stage to start into a product, so we first did our MVP. Okay, so the minimum viable product. So the concept is simple: to make people to learn technology courses, okay, in a easy way through vernacular. Okay, so that was the initial thought process. So how to ensure that the idea is something meaningful? Okay, how to validate whether this idea people will consume? right? So if I wanted to build a product, first I should be able to understand that this idea will work, or this idea is actually making meaningful, right? So then there's something called MVP, which is a minimum viable product, which means the solution which you think, or the idea which you think, right? You should be able to build a bare metal, or just make sure that the idea is actually spread across the people whom you think are the right audiences. Okay, what it means is you shouldn't be spending your time to build the product in the terms of full-fledged product. You should be able to get a product, or build a product, or buy a product which can actually share your ideas to the external world to validate whether this actually could work. Okay, so that is the first and foremost if you are actually moving from idea state to product state. Okay, so ensure that you have a minimum viable product, in the sense it need not be your own product as well. Okay, it can be a third-party platform, or it can be your existing consumer platform through which you are validating your idea. Okay, so that is the first step. So as Mr. Chandramohan was mentioning, right? So this was during the days where we were working in PayPal. Okay, we just had an idea. Okay, so where we want to help people to learn technology courses in a frictionless way, in the way the industry wants. So that is the thought process. Okay, so make them ready so that they could go and face the real world with the real skills. But we choose vernacular as a tool to achieve that. When in the process, this is a stage of 2013-14, where we were still working in PayPal, but want to ensure that whatever we are thinking as an idea is a worthful one, or is something that people will consume for. Okay, so what we did is we started building the contents or the solutions, okay, focused towards the outcome, and created learning content which we hosted in YouTube. Okay, so for us the MVP, okay, which is the idea of making people to learn technology courses, right? We started creating those contents and used YouTube as a medium to validate whether it might work, it will work, or it might work. Okay, these are questions which we had. Okay, imagine we are still employed with the company, we were still getting our monthly salaries, everything is fine, but the idea which we had, we want to validate it before we move forward. So we use YouTube as a medium through which we want to validate it. Okay, to our surprise, or to support this idea, we got 1 million views in a couple of months. Okay, so after we published our technology content in YouTube, we got 1 million views in 2 months. So this was a quite validation for us in terms of revealing that, okay, there are takers for this solution. Okay, so there are people who wanted to consume this solution. Okay, there are people who liked the solution. Okay, because in YouTube you could see the comments, you could see the likes, you could see the email. From the places we get emails. Okay, so all these things was an initial market fit validation for our learning solution. Okay, so you get my point. So when we had an idea to validate it to the market, we did not build our initial product by ourselves. Okay, in the sense, the platform was not the goal. The intention was not to build the platform in the first place. The intention to ensure that the content is actually being liked by people, or the content is being utilized by people. So that is the core focus. So once we get this validator, once we understood that yes, people are liking it, people are loving it, people are willing to pay for it, then we started moving through building the platform on our own. Okay, so from 2014 we started building our own platform, Goovi.in. That is how we started this from the scratch, and then we started adding more and more features. But the first validation of market fit is being done through YouTube. Okay, still we maintain the channel. Earlier it was more of private channel, reached to our Prakash. So then started by my co-founders Arun and Sridevi. So then we actually moved to our own channel called Goovi. Okay, so then that's how we started moving on. And this is the next level of validation. So once we get the validation that people are loving our content, the next part is whether they would pay for it, how people will pay for it. Okay, so once we started building our own platform, this is the place where we got the validation from IIT Madras as well. 2014, we got incubated by IIT Madras, And that served as a second level of validation, saying this, wow, this solution is being accepted by the premier institute in the country. Okay, so when you have 1 million views, which ensures that the users like it, and when you have the premier institution in India, which is IIM Madras, acknowledging your solution, then you get the real confidence that this product will fit the market. Okay, so with that validation, we moved on to the next year. And started building our next product, which is the practice platform. Okay, so what it means is, this is where you should be very cautious on how the market is observing your product, or observe how the market is expecting your solution. So what happened is, in 2014, when we started introduced our learning solution, people liked it. Okay, people loved it. But how will they ensure that they are actually learning technology or learning the programming? So making them learn programming is our goal, right? So how do they ensure that they can learn programming, right? So that's when we started building a practice platform called CodeKata. Many of you, if you have been to Google platform, you will love this product. So where you can write the code online and get it compiled, okay, and start problem statements. So to give you an example, more than 10,000 plus problem statements are there where people can go and practice. And this, once we introduced this in 2015, right? So we started getting our paying clients. So this is the year when we had 30 plus paying clients. Most of them are colleges. Okay, so the colleges, the challenge for them was the learning. Whenever people learn a new programming or technology, right? They need to install the software in the system. Just imagine this was in 2015. Okay, you guys would have been in schools. Okay, so that time people need to install the software, go and set the class path, go and set the environment variables. Only then they can actually go and write programs and compile it and test it. Okay, so this was not the days where you guys are writing the. Most of you would be writing the code now in online compilers, right? So where you write the code, compile it online. But in 2015, none of them were doing it. Everyone was actually installing the softwares in your system like C, C++, Java, Python. They need to install, and then they need to go to the terminal, and then they need to write the program and compile it. I mean, using interpreter compile, then to compile it, then run it. This is how things were in place. But what we did is we completely transformed it by bringing the online code compilers into the platform. So when the people were learning in the platform, they need not switch the platform from browser. They need not go to their system to compile it and run it. In the same platform, they can actually write the code in the browser. They can write the code, compile it, and then get it submitted through GitHub. Okay, so this was a tremendous acceptance from the industry, from the colleges, from the clients, which ensured that we got accepted by 30 plus paying customers in the next immediate launch of the next year. In 2014, we launched in June. We went into the market in November. In 2015, we were able to get the paying clients. Okay, so what is the learning here is, so when the product was introduced, we were able to figure out that people are able to learn it, but until they practice it, they will not be able to show what is the learning curve or what is the skill they have actually gained. Okay, and obviously the colleges, the ones who paid for it, are willing to measure how the people are actually able to progress. So the product, right, until the product was able to meet the market expectation about validating the skill of the learner, right, the product would not have taken off. So only when we were quick learners, we were able to understand that this is the need of the market. So this is the need of the product by the customers, or this is the expectation from the product, right? So once we understood that, so we were able to bring this platform into the picture. So this helped us to directly meet the market expectation. Okay, so this was, to give you a fact, this was not just immediate. This did not just came out of the blue. So in the first year, once we launched this, so we used to sit with the learners in the colleges, or learners when the people are learning in the platform, right? We used to sit at the back of them to understand how they are actually utilizing the product. Okay, how they are actually consuming the product. So what are the feedbacks that they give, or what are the feedbacks that they throw to their friends about the platform, right? So this was the major learning things for us to understand the market needs, and through which we were able to build solutions for the learners. So if you are building a solution or if you are building a product, hear what the customers say or hear what the users say. Okay, there are two parts to it. One is buyer versus user. Okay, so the buyer might be someone, the user might be someone. Okay, so you have to hear both of them, because the buyer will actually give you the business, but the users are the one who is going to ensure that the platform has been consumed. Okay, so until and otherwise you hear both of their expectation, you will not be able to sustain in the market. Any questions on this? Any specific questions or any specific queries on this? You can put it in the chat. Okay, I think no, but Codecademy platform is good. We have tried it. See, that was a year, and to give an example, I happen to know Pawan in that same year, 2015, when he was in a different college. So they tried this product and they were able to see the needs met, and that is how we got connected as well. Okay, so the point here is you have to understand what the market is actually you need of it, which was not available at that point of time, but which the user might themselves never know that there is any need for it. Okay, so the user might not really know what is their needs, but until you figure it out, okay, and try it and give it to them, they will not be able to appreciate it. Are there any strategy to keep track of Juno? Are there any strategy to keep track of the needs met or not? Yes, there are. So once you introduce a product or feature, right, the metrics of the feature, which is how much it is being utilized by the end user, gives a direct answer to a question in Juno. So for example, if you are introducing I'll tell you, we introduced this Codecademy, right? We had something called push it to GitHub. So from the platform, you can directly push your source code to GitHub actually. Okay. So we had, and you could also see other submissions, other user submission. So that was a feature which we introduced, but the day in which we introduced, right, it was actually the people who clicked on that link was quite high. Almost everyone who came to the page, saw that link, was able to click it, but none of them used it. Okay, so none of them actually submitted the data in that. So we were quite surprised. We thought that this is actually something that the user would be able to directly use it, but we did not see user was clicking it and user was not submitting it. Okay, the simple reason was there. Okay, the answer to this is we assumed that user would be able to understand how to use it. Okay, but the user did not. So the next day we did a small YouTube video, okay, and added a help link next to the button, next to the text box, saying if you do not know, click here to know how to use it. Okay, so the third day, everyone who came to that page first clicked on that particular link, saw that video, then came back and submitted the solution. Okay, so if we did not measure what we deliver to the users, we would not be able to understand the consumption of the user. Okay, so metrics and analytics play a major role in any of the product market fit. So it's not about releasing the products, it's about measuring how much of the product is being actually consumed by the user and how much of them you expect as a minimum consumption. If the both of the values are actually meeting the point or at least matching to a certain extent, then it's fine. If it is not, there is a friction, there is a problem, there is a place which needs actually fine tuning. Okay, so only when you fix that, the market fit will be achieved. Okay, so with this I'll go on to the next step of our journey. Okay, so the next part is now there are people who came to our platform, who learned it, who practiced it. Okay, but what is the goal for them to move forward, or what is the solution that we are actually providing to the market, right? So the market is always, or the product is being, as I mentioned, right, buyer versus user. Okay, and the product is always successful only when it is actually being consumed by the entire ecosystem. Okay, if it's been just consumed by individual players, right, the product will not survive. I'll give an example. Everyone would have, I mean, Android, right? So may know there was Android is nothing but an operating system, correct? So Android is an operating system for mobile. So what was the previous operating system which we had? Before Android, what was the famous operating system which we had? You guys can guess it, right? You guys might not have actually used it. Windows, okay. Windows was for Java, okay. iOS. Before Android, did you had iOS? Okay. Yes, Nokia's OS, Symbian. Wow, guys, you got it. So Symbian was the first, actually before all these things, Symbian was the major OS and Nokia was the leader in that. Okay, Nokia was the mobile phones. Obviously, Nokia was the leader. Everyone, not in this age group, might be if you go to Chandra Mohan or Pawan and those guys, right? Our age, right? So we would have used Nokia to the core. Okay, but Nokia was not able to survive. Nokia did not move forward when Android came out. You know the reason? Or when iOS came out? Because any reasons for that? Any thought process or any thoughts on why Symbian was not able to move forward, but why iOS and Android survived? So obviously Steve Jobs is one of the reasons why iOS survived well, but apart from that, there is a major reason. I'll tell you that everyone would have used the App Store, right? So what does App Store do? So what is App Store? What is the App Store purpose? Store apps. Okay, created by whom? Mazin Iqbal. The parent company. Okay, so Android's parent company, if you ask me, it's obviously Google, you will say, right? For iOS, you will say Apple. But it's WhatsApp app created by the parent company? No. WhatsApp is not created by a parent company. Facebook is not created by the parent company, right? These are created by developers who utilized that app, that platform. Like Android was utilized by developers and created a lot of apps which was approved by the company, okay, which was approved by the ecosystem. What it means is Nokia was a closed ecosystem in the sense the OS was actually created by the Symbian OS was actually maintained by Nokia, and they did not allow the external developers to come and create apps as part of it. So they were the ones who are running it in a closed ecosystem. Okay. So what happens is once Android came up or once iOS came up and opened the platform, allowing other developers to create or use that ecosystem, right? The platform started flourishing. Okay. That was the major reason for, because there are businesses that are actually built upon these platforms. So WhatsApp business obviously is built upon this platform. Uber business, Ola business, every app business, Swiggy, what are the things that you create, you see right now are being built upon these platforms. Okay, if the platforms are not available or haven't opened their gates to these companies or these apps, right, none of them would be able to thrive in this era. Okay, similarly, what we were able to understand is we have learners on the platform who are actually learning technology, upskilling themselves towards a goal. But the other side is obviously the recruiting partners who are trying it hard to find the right resources. So then every year, almost 73% of the jobs go unfilled or get settled by people with who are relatively lower skilled. Okay, so that was a challenge facing by the recruitment partners. Okay, so that is when we started bringing the recruitment partners into the platform who can actually hire the right talents from the platform. So what happens is, as you come and learn programming, when you are able to write the practice in the platform, right? The platform would be able to understand, for example, I'll take Kailash. So if Kailash is able to learn, is learning Python in the platform and is writing through CodeKata, he is solving around close to 100 problem statements. Okay, the platform has the data of Kailash in terms of his real-time experience. So what it means is, instead of Kailash saying that I know Python, okay, here he proves it or showcases to the recruiter by showing 50 programs that he has 50 programs that he has actually written in Python. Okay, which means that the recruiting partners will be able to understand what is the real capacity of Kailash or what is the real potential of Kailash. And it makes the recruitment more easy and more powerful for both Kailash and the recruiting partner. Correct? So this is how we started building the recruitment partners into the platform, which is the Hire platform, which is built by AI, which actually started mapping the technology of the recruiters with their learners profiles. So this was actually consumed by the industry partners, which are actually mostly the product companies in Chennai and Bangalore, like JustPay, PayPal, Symantec, Freshworks, Chargebee. So you name any product companies in Chennai and Bangalore, most of the product companies in Bangalore, they hire through Goovi. Okay, so that is how they got connected in the platform and they were able to take this product. So learners on the one side and recruitment on the other side. This was the need or the market expectation from a technology solution. Okay, for the segment that we were catering to. So once we understood this one, once the product was able to scale for them, obviously the takers were increasing. In the sense, the number of learners who are coming to the platform, they were happy because they were able to get the recruitment opportunities or job opportunities through the platform. And obviously the recruitment partners were able to identify the top talents in Goovi. They onboarded because they were able to literally hire from their own place, from their own comfort zone, okay, the top talents. Okay, so this was a perfect match for the market in terms of the product, and people are able to, I mean, that is when in 2015-16, we were able to absolutely match the needs and able to take it forward. So if we haven't heard the market need or market expectation, we would have just stayed on the learner side. Okay, but that is not the expectation. The market obviously needs the consumption of the platform from different perspectives, or the whole ecosystem has to be built into the platform. Okay, so if you are building a product, obviously the one side is the consumers, the other side is the ecosystem which will actually drive the consumers. We will take an example of maybe the most popular used apps, right? Like maybe we'll take Ola. Okay, so did Ola onboarded the drivers first or the users first? People can actually put it in the chat. Did Ola or Uber onboarded drivers into the platform or users into the platform? Or who are the more potential people for Uber or Ola? The drivers, who is the potential person? User, drivers, or users? Triptika, drivers. Juno, users. Shakti, users. Chandramohan, users. Okay, maybe the first user. Triptika, can you please explain why you said drivers? Can you please type it? Why you said drivers? I'll wait for a few seconds for Triptika to answer. But Ola places drivers at the heart of its operation. Without drivers, there is no point in having users unless it is an autonomous vehicle. Okay, so they cannot connect with users with the help of drivers. No, I didn't get that. Without. Okay. So without the help of drivers. Okay. I'll tell you a simple. Okay. So the right answer is actually drivers. So they onboarded the drivers first. The simple reason is they paid a hefty cash to drivers to onboard. Okay. What happened is once there are more drivers in the platform, okay, people become competitive in their pricing. And in terms of the users, if the users now come to the platform, they will have a lot of options in terms of people who can serve them. Okay, imagine this way: if I onboarded the users first, saying you will be able to commute to a place at a lower price, or with a few minutes, or without any hassle, right? But if you don't have the drivers, obviously the users will be pissed off. You will open up the lab, you will not find the right cabs in the next few minutes. It will show like 20 minutes, 25 minutes, or 30 minutes. Obviously, you will drop off. That is similar to the same old traffic, fast track or the cabs, right? So that is not how the Ola or Uber survived. So they heavily depended on drivers. They onboarded the drivers with lot of hefty cash and with lot of privileges. So once they have this lot of drivers in the platform, they were able to command the pricing or slash the pricing for the users. That's when the users were quite impressed on the pricing and the timing in which the drivers would be appear. I would arrive for it. They onboarded to the platform. Okay, so it is both the ends that has to be met in terms of a product, in terms of the consumption, or in terms of the user opportunity which should be served for the people. You should be able to ensure that both the needs are met to ensure that the product is met. So win-win concept. It's not, see, win-win concept is, I would not say it's a win-win concept. It's about, there is something called Swan effect. Okay. It might seem simple that if you open Swan effect, okay, you can Google it. So it might look very smooth if you look from an outsider perspective about how things move around, how a swan moves around. Okay. It just moves, or it just floats in the water with a very smooth sailing between the hurdles and just move to the place. But if you really see how things work, it was totally heavily one-sided, or the effort is totally one-sided in terms of the acquisition of the resources that needs to be served for the consumers. Okay. So the end, though the end is win-win, the opportunity or the business model is totally driven by one-sided. So that is how you need to see which one you have to focus on your product that will really drive the market consumption. So that is the end goal. Then that is the heart of the discussion. Until you hear it and until you visualize it, until you feel that this is the feature, this is the need of the consumer, okay, you will be able to move forward. So that is how the Hire platform, talent discovery platform, helped us. Okay, so the next point, the projects. So now the challenges, the problem, the users are coming to the platform, they are learning, they are practicing. There are recruiters on the platform. Okay, but what happens is, after a period of time, it becomes monotonous. It becomes like people are able to see the solution. The recruiters are able to see the solution, but they want something more. Okay, they want something lively. They want something hands-on. They want to see people solving real-world problems. Okay, so that's when we brought the hackathons into the system. So Gooby was actually in the platform, in the market. It was quite known well for the hackathons. Okay, so overall in the from 2016 to 2017, we conducted close to 52 plus hackathons. Okay, if you just Google around for Gooby hackathon, you'll be able to see hell lot of pictures or hell lot of photos about what are the hackathon that we have done. Okay, and close to the biggest, in terms of the hackathon, the biggest one was the last one which we did was the 5,100 plus participants and engaging together in the platform for a hackathon, which went with close to 30 plus job offers on the same day. Okay, so instead of the way of regular routine way of hiring, routine way of building the solution, solving the problem, so we approached it in a different way of liveliness, bringing liveliness to the system, where the recruiters can be on the day of hackathon to see how the products are built, how the solutions are actually solved, okay, and then directly hire from it. So this is one of the during the 16-17 period, this was one of the major market movers which helped us to understand, which helped us to bring in the major product companies into the system. For example, DBS Bank, right? So when they started their development center in India, so they actually focus on this exact same solution in GUI, through which they hired almost close to 41 people, okay, for their development center in Hyderabad. The highest CTC was around 41 lakhs. Okay, so which was quite enormous during the part of time, which helped us to understand what is the expectation than the regular flavors which is being offered in the market. So the regular assessments, regular multiple choice questions, regular code assessments, right? Apart from that, this solution which we are able to bring in really met the product companies and startup needs, and the hiring was actually highlighted. Okay, so this is another market understanding or the product solution, and this was completely done through the platform. Okay, without a very less human intervention, this was completely run through the platform. Okay, so this is how the entire platform was built. Okay, so I've told you the journey about how we understood the market or how we understood our users. Basically, we sat with them. There were a lot of nights where we used to have a mere discussion with the user groups. Okay, user groups of GUI, where we have a mere discussion to understand what is the expectation, what is the how they are utilizing it. We don't actually talk to them. We just watch how they are using it. We make them sit together. We just spend time with them to understand how they are using the products and what are the pain points that they feel. Without, if you are able to identify that before the user, right, then you are successful. Okay, if the user understands that and then brings to you, that's a pain point which you are solving. Okay, the user might feel still happy, but if you are able to understand what is the pain point that the user is going through and solve it without the user bringing to you, right, that's when the wow factor comes to picture. Okay, so this is after this entire products are built. So GUI was actually being utilized in 1,000+ colleges as a learner solution or a practice platform or a project or a entire higher solution. Okay, this is how 1,000+ colleges, 6 lakh+ users. So this is the current state of GUI now. So what I shared with you now is a real example of how the product is being built to meet the market expectation. And this applies to any product in the market. You can take it as a Google, you can take it as Microsoft. They would have gone through this journey of understanding the user personas, which is what type of users are actually utilizing your product and how are they utilizing, okay, and what are the pain points that you're removing for the user. So these three are the major drivers for you to be successful in making the product meet the expectation of the market. So this is the entire flow which has been structured now. So once you register, you'll be taken through the assessment, you understand the concepts, then you practice yourself. The entire knowledge graph that has been built are then passed on to the recruitment platform for the next step of process. Okay, so this is how you map your product's journey with the user journey. So you understand how the user expects or how the user will actually consume it, and then you build your products for it. So then comes the competitive advantage. So only when you are able to meet the product expectation of the market, you'll be able to build the competitive advantages. Okay, if you focus more on that, you'll be able to say what is the differentiating factor, or how things you want to position it so that the competitive advantage stays with you forever. Okay, any questions on this? Or any questions till now? We will wrap up in another 10 minutes, so don't worry about it. I will not keep you bored. Okay, I don't see any questions, so I feel that people are okay. Cool. So what next? Get yourself validated, get the product validated. Okay, so if you feel that, once you ensure that you're actually trying to meet the user's expectation and meet the market needs, then the next set is the validation of the product. Okay, so you should be able to understand, you should be able to show to your users that this is that there is a solid validation for your solution. The validation could be the outcome of the learning, or the hiring partners, or who are the body who are authorizing your contents. Okay, all this comes into the play, and the validation by GUI by IIT Madras, by the product companies for hiring, and the AICTE is a strong validation which helped us to sustain in the market. Okay, so if you are building a product, ensure that you build it as per the expectation of the market, and also get it validated by the right partners who would be respected by the people. Okay, so how to keep up running? Okay, there's a question now from Juno. How to keep up running in the industry from the competitors? No, man, you shouldn't be running away from the competitors. You should be running ahead of the competitors. Okay, you should be able to, if you are able to focus on your users' expectation and users' outcome, then obviously you'll be running ahead of the competitors. Okay, if you are a mere copycat, if you are just copying what the customer or the competitors are doing, right, then you cannot be a survivor, because the competitor, obviously, if he is the one who is thinking ahead, he will build more solutions and he will move fast. Okay, if you are not if you are just follower, if you are just copycat, you can't actually survive in the market for a long time. You can just be there as a mere placeholder, but that is not the that will not make you survive in the market after a period of time. Okay, hope that answers your question. Okay, so how to be a customer-centric company? Okay, the answer is pretty simple. Know what are the pain points, or try to see what is the real valuation for them. They might not know. The customer might not really know what is the valuation for them. Okay, until you bring it to their utilization, or until you make them utilize it through any means. It can be through notifications, it can be through rewards, it can be through gratification, or it can be through challenges. Until you make them feel, or until you make them utilize the feature, okay, you may not be a customer-centric organization. How characteristic feedback is reflected in the products, like technology role in it. See, feedback is obviously a major driver for the product, but as I mentioned, right, before, instead of users bringing the feedback to you, okay, because user might not really know what his real feedback is. He might not like it, he might not know a feature, and he might complain that this is not working, this is not making him useful. But right, that's not the failure of the feature. Actually, it's the failure of the product to make him understand that there is a feature like that, or there is a feature which can be used in a better way. Okay, so the feedback should not be taken directly. The feedback should be analyzed to understand what is the way, or what is the scenario in which the feedback was provided. Okay, so that only that will help you to reflect in the product. Okay, so raw feedbacks, it's well and good, but you should be able to differentiate between signals and noises. Okay, if you think every noise is a signal, then you are actually running behind fixing issues. But that's not how it is. You should be able to understand what is the difference between what is the signal that you need to catch and what is the noise that you need to cut out. Vignesh, does it answer your question? Okay, I'm almost done. So you should be able to ask me if there are any questions. We can talk for the next 5 minutes. Pawan, if there are any questions in any other channel, you can consolidate and you can ask me that.
Yes, sir. I'm just looking into it.
Okay, as people are thinking about the questions, putting it right, let them put it. We'll wait for a few minutes. But okay, I'll talk about this. So this is our current initiative, AI for India. Okay, hope everyone would have actually seen this and registered for this, right? So this is a step from GUI to make India a leading player in AI. Okay, so this was done in association with AICTE, and NASSCOM is getting into this officially in the next few days. So the entire industry is moving towards or focusing towards this initiative, because the goal of every one of us is pretty simple: to make India the top 3 countries in AI. Okay, impart the technology skills needed for AI to every student in India. This is the goal with which we started this initiative, and it's going pretty successful in terms of the registration and enrollments. So this is the process register for AI for India in GUI, and once you register, you'll get a free activated course for Python, which can learn the basics and get ready for the event. On the particular day of event, you will be able to learn a face recognition app. You'll be able to build a face recognition app using Python. Okay, so we'll build the thing on the 24th of April together on the same day, and that is going to create a Guinness World Record for the most number of learners learning online a particular technology. Okay, and you get to get the free participation certificate for being part of the Guinness World Record event. Okay, so this is something going pretty crazy across the web and across India. So I'm sure that everyone would have seen it and registered. If anyone has not registered, feel free to go to GUI.in and register for the event. Okay. How many of you have not registered for this event still? If anyone, is there someone who has not registered still, or who haven't heard about this event still? Is there anyone? I'm just validating my marketing strategy. I just want to understand whether my marketing channel has worked. So if you have never heard about this AI for India event, please put a yes in the chat if you have not heard about the event at all.
Bala, to add to your question, we have officially sent out a circular to all the students across all the 4 years. But I am surprised with the comments coming up now.
That's okay. That's okay. You opened up earlier, so I just wanted to hear from the students whether it has reached their end. Okay, still we have a long way to go.
Yeah,
I'm happy.
We'll
okay,
ensure
that's
that.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Sujit, and hey, Kailash. Don't worry. Pawan will not scold you. That's okay to completely say yes. Okay, so if you are not, Kailash and Sujit, please go to GUI.in and register for this AI for India event. Okay. So now let's go back to the questions. Yeah, Pawan.
There are about 3 questions for you. I mean, 2 questions.
Sure. How to take a... Yeah, shall I go read that, or you can read that?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay, the first one I see here is from Triptika. How to take our product to the people in remote areas. Okay. Interesting question. So it's all about you, right? You are the one who's going to decide how the solution is going to be implemented. I'll tell you a real-time example of how we did it. So it was year 2015 when we were actually streaming the video contents through our platform GUI. Okay, so it was pre-Jio, in the sense before Jio came into the picture. Okay, everyone who have heard about the pre-Jio era, right, would know the challenges of data, in the sense mobile data. So usually people used to switch off their mobile data or switch off their internets if it is not being utilized. Okay, now every one of you would be keeping your data on every 24/7, right? But that was not the case before Jio came into the picture. We'll be very cautious about utilizing the data and ensure that we use it only for our comfort. Okay, so in that particular time period, the data was a challenge. So if you go to remote tier 2, tier 3 cities, right, apart from the metros, you will have data only in 2G. Okay, so 3G itself will not come. Okay, to only 2G, you will have that actually the data being transferred. So the speed will be pretty low. So what we did is we built a seamless integrated video delivery player which what it does is it actually chunks the video into pieces, okay, and depending upon the bandwidth of the user, the contents will be delivered. So what happens is the streaming will be based on the user's consumption or the user's availability of data, okay, which means the user, the bandwidth, the quality of the video, the bandwidth, everything is being taken into consideration, okay, depending upon the place from which the user is trying to access it. And we have also built a platform which can actually stream the contents when the user is still offline. Okay, so there are central hubs which we created through which we are able to stream the contents to the users, and people will be able to use it without using internet connection, without using net connection at all. Okay, so we used a technology in that. So that was the timelines in which the contents were actually consumed by remote places as well. Okay, because we thought through about that users as well. We felt that these are the users which should not be left out. So we built the solutions for them, and that is how they were taken forward. So if you are actually going ahead and building a product for the users, you will obviously figure out solutions to solve their needs as well. Okay, does this answer your question, Triptika? Okay, so the next question is how to manage financially for startups, sir? Okay, good question. So Juno, there's no secret sauce. Okay, the simple thing is focus on your sales as well. If you're just focusing on a product and if you're not focusing on the sales, then you will not be able to thrive in the market. Okay, the best part is if the people find the products useful, they pay for it. Okay, so they will not hesitate to pay and if you are able to show them the real valuation of it. So bringing the sales organization as part of your startup culture, okay, is essential for your startup to be thriving in the market. If you are just focusing on the product without focusing on the sales and service, obviously you will not be able to sustain in the market. I hope I answered this question. How to find proper? Yeah, go ahead.
Probably, if you could give some idea as on date, probably we have witnessed from 2015 to the journey, the young kids maybe.
Pawan, your voice is breaking actually.
No, this is Chandramohan here. Is it okay?
Okay. Mr. Chandramohan, it was actually cracky.
Voice is okay now?
Yeah, it's okay now. Please go ahead.
If you could give an idea, like as on date 2021, to start with what kind of financial investment and
guys, I think hope everyone is able to hear his cracky voice, right? Mr. Chandramohan, can you please check your mic?
Is it okay now?
Yeah, it's okay until you say okay, then it becomes challenge.
Okay, I'll type it then. Yeah,
now it's okay. Please go ahead.
So I'm just asking you to explain or give some inputs as stated, like what could be investment required to start Groovy or any other startups in similar software industry. That's what they're expecting probably.
Can you please type it?
Yeah.
Minimum investment needed. Okay, if you ask me the minimum investment, I would say 0. That is the investment needed for a startup company. That is not the investment is never a barrier for someone to start a company. Okay, that's a fact. Because we started a company with a YouTube channel, we did not have any investment. We did not put any investments for it. Okay, once you get a validation that this is going to be users going to pay for it. Okay, and users paid for us for that content as well. Okay, the one which we had in YouTube, people paid for us saying create more contents for us. Okay, create more, give us more personalized solutions. So that actually helped us to understand that the business model, business opportunity, then we move forward. So if you ask me the minimum investment needed, I would say it's zero. It's only because if you are actually passionate about the product or clear about your solution that could meet the market needs, you will figure out the existing tools to run the business. I know a lot of friends who run their business just using WhatsApp. Okay, so they do not invested money in that. They just use, because they actually provide stockbroking ideas or stock solutions ideas, or they even sell in eBay and Amazon with zero investments. Okay, they sell the product, they get it purchased by someone, then they purchase it and then they fulfill the order. Okay, so there is no something called minimum investment, but I'll tell you what are the options available. Okay, if you have a real product which you feel that it will fit the market and you know which segment it actually caters to, you can reach out to either the incubators, okay, or the obviously the incubators are the one who actually understands the ecosystem and can help you say that this might actually go and reach the market or ask you the right questions. The only thing the incubators actually, the right thing the incubators will do is they might ask you the right questions, which you would not have got it from your friends. Okay, so that is the way in which you need to move forward. You can go to them or you can do a market reach with your product to see how the market is accepting your product. Okay, so just directly go to the build a minimum viable product, okay, using existing tool or your own platform, then go and reach out to the users to see how they are utilizing it and then build the business out of it. Mr. Chandramohan, I hope I answered that question. Okay, thank you. So Juno, how to find proper investors? Obviously, that's actually a different ball game altogether. Okay. So we have right now have 4 investors on board. So one is IIT Madras and IIM Ahmedabad, then Grey Matters Capital and ECF. So all these are venture capital funds. Okay, the first 2 are primary industry, institutions. The next 2 are actually venture capitalists. What they need when you say proper investors, there is none. You need to see what are the portfolio companies in which they have invested. So that will actually help you to understand what kind of what is their target segments are, what is their thought processes. So that would actually help you to understand. So basically the portfolio companies of the current investors will help you to understand whether they are the right fit for you. So our investors are mostly education partners, which means their thought process will also be aligned with the education focus or edtech focus. Okay, one last question we can take. Before we sign off. So these are some of our clients. Okay, if you ask me, a simple discussion with a group of students when I was in the interview panel motivated me to start this idea. Okay, so along with Arun Prakash and Sridevi, so they had their own crucible moments in which they triggered for them to come up with this. But for me, it's more of a discussion with a group of students is the one that actually triggered me. So to answer Juno's question, that is the answer for it. So the challenge, when I was in the interview panel, I saw the performance of a set of students to whom I conversed after the interview, saying why it was not done in the right way, why you were not able to perform. And the answer which they gave to me, okay, about the lack of exposure and the lack of awareness of a particular concepts or technology in the right way in which they could learn, motivated me to be part of this journey. Okay, I have a query. I have a ask from you guys. Are you guys ready for it? Okay, this is a question. So when is this AI for India happening? When is this AI for India happening? You can type the date, Okay. Others? Is this the right answer? Okay, there's a surprise element to this. For my next question, I'm going to give a coupon code which you can use it to buy a course actually. So which company is actually co-organizing this along with Gubi? Which company? So there's a technology AI company which is actually co-organizing this event along with Gubi. Okay, buddy.ai. Cool. Dalabani, you can reach out to me after this and I can actually give you a coupon code to buy a course in Gubi for free.
Bala,
Yeah, Pawan.
He's already a part of the Gubi learning team that is currently from the KCG college.
That's okay. Still, he answered my question, so I'll give it to him. A different course, right? So which is not part of his current thing. I'm happy to give it to users who are actually helping us. So the next question. Hope everyone is in the social media platform, right? So LinkedIn or which platform you guys are. So wherever you are, okay, write a post or write a post about this AI for India event, about why you are excited. I understood that every one of you have joined for it. So I want you guys to write a post in social media about why you guys are excited to be part of this event. Okay, so I'll tell you the fact. So this might seem like a regular event, but the outcome of this, imagine, right? 10 lakh people are actually skilled in programming. Okay, 10 lakh people are actually getting skilled, are aware of AI opportunities, right? It's going to create a massive ecosystem where someone can really go and try it out, certain solutions, certain ideas, and build the products. So that is the whole thought process of us. Okay, we want literally the people to be aware of the opportunities that are around us and go and build up problems or solutions, solve the problems and build solutions for it. Okay, so people who are part of this right now, I have actually close to 50 plus, right? So you guys, the request from me is go to any social media platform, okay, and write a few lines on why you are excited to be part of this AI for India event. Okay, just tag Gubi official and to tag myself. You can find me on any platform like LinkedIn or so, Facebook or Twitter, anything. I'm available. Tag me in that. Okay. So the one who are able to spread this across to the the more people, right? Obviously, I can work with Pawan and I can actually open up even a gift voucher for them. Okay. So it's an open contest. So people whoever want to participate in this and spread these words can be part of it and get it done. Okay. So go to any social media platform and write about why you are excited to be part of this and tag Gubi official and share the registration link, and would be happy to see the one who comes with the more likes and shares, obviously, to be considered as winner. Okay. So this is exclusive to KCG guys. The participants who are part of it, and you can take it forward. I'll talk to you separately about this, Pawan and Mr. Chandramohan.
Yeah, sure, and thank you so much.
I'm done. Yeah.
Lakshmipati sir.
Taking the journey as if that we have witnessed your journey right from 2015. You have well narrated, the story. I think it's highly motivated students. I could see the energetic participation. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Chandramohan. Thank you, Pawan, for the opportunity, and thank you guys for being an amazing audience and asking the questions and the right questions.
Lakshmipati sir, would you want to give the ending note?
Yes, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, please.
Yeah. So, firstly, I would like to thank the management and the principal for extending support to initiate the Voice of the Startup webinar series. And secondly, I would like to thank Mr. Balamurugan for an enthralling session on building an innovation product for the market fit. So that was an enthralling session. I hope he has cleared several doubts for the students, and the students were very interactive. And lastly, I would like to thank the participants for the time and listening to the session and spending the time. Thank you, Ananda.